And welcome to the live stream. Hopefully everyone is ready for some very good information because I've got a lot of stuff to let you in on. We're going to be going over a lot of details, some new screens for the character creation, and much, much more. So let me know if you can hear me, if everything sounds good. Let me know what it sounds like. And let me go ahead and get that cord up out of the way. Okay, and let's just take a look. Okay, looks like the stream health is excellent. That's great. Okay, so I'll give it a few minutes to get some people in, and then we'll be more than ready to go. Because today we have a ton of stuff to talk about. Especially if you're excited like I am for Shadowlands. Now, Shadowlands is definitely something that some are not excited about at all, and some are totally stoked for it. Okay, so we are giving this around a couple more minutes. I'll give it until just maybe 8:07 or 8:08, something of that nature. And sorry if you guys was looking for this at exactly 8 o'clock. By mistake, I hit the record button instead of live stream. So it happens. It's not something that is unheard of, but it's not something I want to do as a rule. Okay, so just as a highlight, we are going to be looking at Renown. If you don't know what that is, you're going to want to stick around because Renown is definitely something we're going to be looking at a lot in Shadowlands. Also, archaeology is about to change like you would not believe. And on top of archaeology changes, we also have a classic announcement, as well as some recipes to be looking at, and some new loading screens for the character creation animation. So definitely this is going to be something that I feel people will love. I know it's something I'm looking forward to. But let's go ahead and first, let me check and see who we have with us today. Okay, and this is live, so let me make sure that it's actually live and that it's not private. I've done that before, and it was not good. But okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at everything. First, we're going to be starting off, and if this is your first time here, please do be sure to subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out. I'm trying to get the channel to grow as much as possible because I want to make the channel one that you can be proud of as well as I can. So let's go ahead and start off by taking a look at Renown. What does it mean, and how does it work? So I see that we had someone just now pop in. Speak up, let me know who I got and where you're from. If it's your first time here, again, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Okay, first we're going to take a look at Renown. Now, Renown in Shadowlands is going to be a big, big part of the way things work. Renown is more or less the new AP. It's going to replace the Azeroth power, which replaced the other AP back before Battle for Azeroth. So we are looking at another version of AP. But Renown will make your soul bonds even stronger. Okay, but it's not like the way it is now with Azeroth. With Azeroth, you can go out, and if you want to spend 15, 16, 18 hours a day farming Azeroth, you can farm all the Azeroth you want and make your Azeroth power grow in a huge way in one single day. Okay, but it's not going to be the way it is with Renown. There will be a weekly cap, a weekly limit as to how much Renown power you can get. Now, there will be a lot of awesome rewards such as transmogs, mounts, pets, titles, and a lot more. For example, legendary recipes. We're going to have a lot of that. We're going to have higher level world quest items. The higher you get in Renown, the higher your level will get on your world quest items that you can get. For example, armor, weapons, what have you. And it will be part of Shadowlands Pathfinder. So it is definitely going to be something that no matter how much you dislike or like it, you are going to need it if you're wanting to ever fly in Shadowlands. Now, if you play multiple characters, I know you're probably thinking like I do, or like I did before this live stream, and you're thinking, I'm never going to get caught up anyway. No. You are going to get caught up because there is already in place a catch-up mechanic that is already in place to help you get back on track. For example, you have to be away from the game for a few days. You have something in real life going on, but you just cannot be there for. You are going to be able to get caught up easily with this catch-up mechanic. Now, so far, we don't know exactly what the mechanic is or how it's going to work out exactly. But the more I find out, as soon as I find out, you'll be the very first ones to know. And I see some people popping in. Welcome to the live stream. If it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe. If you did miss anything, be sure to catch the playback for the few moments that you've missed. And how many of you are big on archaeology? Now, for me, I'm going to be the very first one to say archaeology has never been something I go out of my way to do. Hey, Kelly, how's it going? Glad to see you here, and we're just hanging out, chatting, talking about some of the new features with Shadowlands that we will be getting. So archaeology, again, is not one of the things that I go out of my way to do. If I get bored, I do it, but I've never been able to seem to get caught up because I'm too busy doing other things, leveling characters, getting the item level, and so on, as where it needs to be. But that's all about to change because, for the moment at least, archaeology will not be getting an update. There will be no more updates in archaeology for Shadowlands. Now, this is according to the production director, Patrick Dawson. And with that said, it does appear that we will still be able to go and get the things that we've been able to get through the previous expansions. For example, mounts or what have you. And archaeology, now this is what they had to say about archaeology and how they explained it. Archaeology artifacts are tied into races which now inhabit Azeroth, which at this point very much include ogres, Draenei of Outland, Draenor. So archaeology within those zones made sense. Even for things like Arakoa, which I may be mispronouncing that if I am overlooking, which as like Arakoa, as while they might not necessarily be playable races inhabiting Azeroth, their history is still certainly linked to that of our own history. And so it makes perfect sense that we'd explore that history through archaeology on their native worlds. Shadowland, however, exists in a realm apart. The races which inhabit Azeroth, etc., may go there, but it's not part of our history. It's our future. So that's what they had to say when it comes to archaeology and why we will not be having any dig sites in Shadowlands. Now, I don't know about you, but I'll still be doing the archaeology over in Battle for Azeroth and Legion and all the other zones we've had, because I want all of the mounts and toys and all the good stuff you can get from it. How many of you are going to continue to dig for the, pardon, no pun intended, but dig for the archaeology items? For myself, I know that that's something that I will be doing on not one but multiple of my characters. Now, once everybody has got in, and I see that we have quite a few people popping in, they pop in and out or whatever, I will be also talking about an update that we have for Onyxia on Classic. Okay, Classic Onyxia has just been owned. Now, thank you, Kelly. That is something that I looked up on. I done a Google search, found something that just popped, and a matter of fact, that is my background that you're seeing on my desktop. So I do appreciate that. Glad you like it. If you would like, drop me an email to the email address in the description, and I will be more than happy to send that to you. But we've all heard about, and many of us have even done, naked runs through dungeons and even raids. And recently, a naked raid group in Classic ran in to hit Onyxia without any armor, no weapons, no rings, no trinkets, nothing. And surprisingly, after multiple attempts and multiple deaths and wipes, they actually killed Onyxia without any weapons. All they had was their skills, of course, as long as the skill was not dependent upon any of their armor or weapons. it was something that they could use. But they actually killed Onyxia in Classic recently with no armor, no nothing. So I kind of think that's pretty neat. Something I never thought of trying to do myself, even as a 120 going in and trying to do it. Which, obviously, at 120, Onyxia is very, very, very easy to do. But this is being done in Classic, which makes it even more impressive. Now, have you been hearing about the abominable stitching recipes? And this is something that the Necrolord Covenant will bring to its members. As a member of the Necrolord Covenant, you'll be able to use abominable stitching recipes, which allows you to construct your own abominations. And if you guys want to know more about this in great detail, let me know. Either in live chat if you're here with me live, or in playback if you're doing this in playback. Let me know in the description or comments rather, and I'll be more than happy to do a video with all the details as we know them now. But I think that's going to be very cool. I don't know about you, but to be able to go out with your own abomination, your own, more or less your bodyguard or a pet, or however you would look at it, I think it's going to be very, very cool to be able to do that. Now, right now, to be very honest with you, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. If that's something that after you learn, if you leave the Necrolord Covenant and go to a different covenant, do you take that skill with you or do you lose it? But if you guys are interested, let me know. I'll do a video on it, and I'll find all the answers out that I can. Now, I don't know about you, but let's take a look at the starting screen or character creation screen as we have it now for World of Warcraft. Let me launch my game and we'll take a look together. Okay, so here we go. And let's go ahead and share the screen. Here we go. Now, as you can see, you do have a pretty nice background. You see some birds flying around, but how many of you are getting tired of this particular setting? I know for me, I'm getting very tired of it. It's all normal. You don't see anything on this one except some fire. Here you see fire, and him looks like breathing, moving weapons up and down. But let's take a look together at the new animations. Now let me go ahead and close the game out. And we're going to be taking a look at these animations one by one. I still need to share the screen, so overlook this for just a minute. Okay, and here we go. We're going to be looking at the mage first. As you can see, this is going to be what you see when you go to create your mage. You're seeing frost, ice, fire, all at one time, and it's awesome. I honestly think that the mage is going to be fantastic. What are your thoughts about the mage? Let me know in in the comments, or if you're playing this back, let me know in the comments or live if you're with me now. And then we'll also go ahead and take a look at the Hunter, which is coming up next. And I think this is awesome. Obviously, this will be dependent upon the race. You won't always see a human. If you're an orc, you'd see an orc or whatever. But I think this is awesome. You're seeing your hunter move and do the things that a hunter would do. Using the bow here, throwing things. Again, very awesome. So next we will be taking a look at the Druid. Okay. Night Elf Druid, obviously. And we see the new cat, the way their magic is doing, healing. So, definitely interesting. For me, so far, the one that strikes me as being the best so far out of the ones we've seen is the hunter or the mage. But let me know what you think. Now next we're going to take a look at the demon hunter. Which is awesome. Now as we all know, the demon hunter only has a couple of specs. They don't have all the specs that choices that the other characters do. So let's go ahead and now go on to the Death Knight. Now the Death Knight, I've got to say, is also blowing people away. I love it. You're seeing the swords and the magic and the ghouls. But let's not forget about the monk. Now the monk absolutely is fantastic. And yes, we will be going through this on each and every character that we have available. I mean, look at this animation, but the way that you can see the roll, the kicks, the punches, and just the stance, it absolutely blows you away. And I know that a lot of people would say, it's nothing, it's just a little bit of movement, but it's going to make your ability, for example, if I've never played a mage, I want to see what that mage can do. And this character creation screen will definitely show me what a mage can do. Or in this case, a paladin. Let's take a look at the chat, see if anybody has spoke up. Okay, so like I said, what do you guys think so far? Now, we are getting ready to continue. We are going to be bringing up the rogue here in just a few seconds. But the rogue is coming up as we speak. And a lot of times, and I don't know about everybody else, but for example, the move that was just done where the blades go everywhere. I admittedly do not play the rogue as much, but I would love to know what that move is. If anybody's able to tell me, let me know in either the comments or the live chat, or if this is something new to Shadowlands, if it's not in the game already, it's something I definitely want to take a look at. And next, we are going to go to the Shaman. And now the Warlock. And finally, the Warrior. So, what are your thoughts so far? Are there any one special place that you like more on the animation? Just, be sure to let me know. And we're going to go ahead and bring up the background here again. And here we go. So far that is where we're at on that. But I do want to, once again, I want to go back to the screen share. If you've not already took a look at the video I did called, on the thumbnail you'll see that it says $60 and it's X'd out and then $20. This is the video that you might want to watch. I'll be adding it once I'm able to do the playback and set it up. I'll be setting that up for a card for you to be able to click on. And I'll be putting the link for it down in the description as well. But if you ever wanted to get another license or you have multiples and you're wanting to update them, this is a perfect way. Okay, for $20, not $60, not $40, not $50, $20, $19.99 to be exact, you can upgrade or buy yourself a brand new license and you get a level 110 boost. Now, no, it's not a 120, but a 110 boost is $20. A 120 boost is $60. So for $60, you can either buy one 120 boost, or you can buy 3 of the 110 boost. Okay, for that $60, you're going to get 3 or 1. It's totally up to you. But for my money, if I was going to boost any, I would boost 3 characters to 110 for $60, and then I would level that character from the 110 to 120. Because remember, right now we have a boost to our XP that is giving us the ability to get double XP. So it does pay off. Okay. Anybody got any questions, any comments, anything at all right now before we move on to professions? Now, as I told you guys, this is going to be a lot to talk about with this live stream because there's a lot to look at in the game right now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at professions. Yes, for one thing, but a lot of people don't want anything to do with. They despise professions for some reason. I don't know. For me, I've always thought of them as being fantastic. But we're going to go ahead and jump to the changes. First, we're going to look at alchemy. Okay, alchemy. New potion types have been added called extract. Ground herbs that are used in bubber alchemy crafting. Oils used to imbue weapons with temporary effects, as well as improving combat potions. So that's going to be that much more of a reason why people are going to be buying your herbs. So if you're a herbalist, you should be extremely happy. Alchemy optional reagents can be added to armor pieces with effects such as increased duration on flask and food effects, and change on hit to increase your primary stat for a few seconds. Now, this may not seem like a lot, but when you're in the middle of combat, you're in a raid, you're whatever, you're out in the open world, this is going to come in handy and it's going to help you out a lot. More potions with fun combat effects similar to Battle for Azeroth's Potion of Unbridled Fury. Now, this potion gives you a use. Fill yourself with unbridled energy, giving your offensive spells and attacks to change to do an additional 378 fire damage to your target, and it lasts for 1 minute with a 5-minute cooldown. Okay, which further improved by the new alchemy oils. Some new utility potions, including potions that increase your movement speed while dead. That's going to be odd. Flasks are now homogenized, with one flask increasing all primary stats dependent upon the specialization, and one increasing stamina. Star ranks for recipes have been greatly reduced in the prominence. Combat potions and utilities. Combat potions and utility potions will share a cooldown. Health potions are unaffected. Combat potions will no longer have one encounter limitations, but will have a 5-minute cooldown, which is pretty cool. So, if you're an alchemist, tell me what you think. Are you happy about this change? Or is this a change that you're not at all looking forward to? Because for me, I think the change is going to be awesome. I mean, it is going to give us a lot more to look at and new ways to make gold. So let's go ahead and take a look now at blacksmithing. And I can go ahead and share the screen here. Blacksmithing changes from Battle for Azeroth to Shadowlands. Blacksmithing will be able to create legendary quality items. Now that is going to be awesome in itself. Anything legendary automatically people want, and it's going to be awesome. 4 of the armor weapon groups, 4 of the armor and weapon groups are designed after the aesthetics of each of the 4 Covenant zones and appear to use ingredients that may only be found in those zones. These appear to be Soul Forged to Bastion, Bone Graft for Maldroxus, Plague Weed for Ardenweld, and Sin Still for Ravendraft. After a very long hiatus, not since Burning Crusade to be exact, blacksmithing will now once again include sharpening stones and weight stones. After these offer 1 hour boost to damage from sharp weapons and blunt weapons, which is your weight stone. Wargleaves have been added to the roster of blacksmith created weapons, which is going to be awesome because war glaives are not something that drop very often. You have a hard time finding those, or at least I know I do on my own characters. Star ranks have been greatly reduced in prominence. Okay, now let's go on to enchanting. Armor enchants are back, which is fantastic. Most armor slots now have enchants once more. Enchanted profession reagents are also back. This time with a new cloth reagent used for tailoring, as well as enchanted leather and ore. Again, this is going to make your cloth, your art, your ore, and your other items sell like hotcakes. So if you have cloth, or you have ore, or you have leather, big opportunity. You are now able to combine enchanting reagents into superior versions. Now, from this, what I'm gathering is you're going to take, for example, 10, and we're going to use an item from old school, 10 medium leather would be combined to make one heavy leather. So that's what I'm gathering from it. Okay. Gathering enchants are returned with a single enchant used to increase the speed of all gathering done in Shadowlands. So that's going to be awesome. One will increase them all. So that's not going to be so that you have to have certain ones for different characters. You can have one and do it all the way across. So, star ranks again reduced. Engineering. Now, engineering has always been one of my favorites. Makes a lot of gold. Also, it's very awesome as far as opportunities. So, says engineers will have a techno magic breakthrough, which is very interesting, and it makes me want to see it even more, which will make many engineering devices more powerful, but much more difficult to control. Backfires may be catastrophic. Increased skills in engineering also reduces the chance of backfires. Gliders are back. We haven't seen a new glider since Legion. 4 have now returned for Shadowlands. These might be zone specific, either through use or by design. Engineering optional reagent added adds useful effects like increasing swim speed or your primary stats by completing world quests. Engineering goggles will not only have great stats and awesome good looks, but will also add plus 20 to your engineering skill. Now I'm assuming that this means if you have them on, you can take them off, but the plus 20 would go back down, I'm assuming. Fun new devices make a comeback with all of the potentially suicidal effects of that you've come to expect with the finest goblin and gnomish engineering. Take a look, see if anybody has said anything. Okay. And next we're going to look at Inscription. Now, Inscription has always been a huge moneymaker, and this is not going to change anything. Inscription has new optional reagents. One, a powerful addition to all crafted armor made made with blacksmithing, leatherworking, and tailoring, and another that gives the ability to create targeted Dark Moon cards with specific decks. Words of Power are original or optional reagents for increasing the armor class of crafted armor and are expected to be in high demand. You can bet on that, so this is going to be a huge moneymaker. No glyphs have as of yet been announced, but this does not necessarily mean that we have no new glyphs. Dark Parchment is the first introduction to a new parchment for inscription since most of the additional parchments were removed from Mist of Pandaria. And of course the star ranks have been greatly reduced. Okay, so what do you guys think so far? We do have a couple more to go over, but we are going to go ahead and take a look at the next one, which is jewel crafting, of course. Jewel crafting will have the ability to create legendary rings and necklaces. 2 new gem types added. 1 increases your health and 1 increases your speed, based upon how many Shadowlands gems you have socketed into your gear. There are now only 3 base gems, each representing a primary color. Rare quality gems no longer exist, being created by combining different base gems. Rare quality gems can also be used as an optional reagent in crafted gear, allowing you to choose what secondary stat you want on that piece of gear. Now, to me, this is going to be awesome because you're going to have people who come up to you and say, hey, I would like a chest piece for my warrior, and, you know, I have this rare gem, and I want you to use it in crafting it so that I can pick which stat I want as my secondary stat. And also, star ranks reduced again. Leatherworking changes from Battle for Azeroth to Shadowlands. Leatherworking will now be able to create both leather and mail legendary armor pieces, and the ingredients necessary to create these have not been fully revealed. I'll be keeping an eye on that, and I'll keep you up to date. Each of the 4 major Covenant-controlled zones have their own leatherworking armor pieces based on the local aesthetic, and each will use a zone-specific leather to create it. Armor kits have returned after a very long hiatus since Burning Crusades. These 2-hour buffs will add stamina to chest, legs, hands, and or feet. If these work like earlier armor kits, you'll be able to apply these to all 4 possible slots at one time and receive the full benefit. Leatherworking optional reagents exist, but have only been partially identified. These can be added to crafted armor for specific buffs. And finally, we have tailoring. Tailoring don't seem to have as much, but let's take a look. Tailoring will have the ability to create legendary armor pieces, which is about par for course. Tailoring pieces are combined with new upcoming optional... Sorry about that. Been a long day. tailoring pieces are compatible with new upcoming optional reagents in Shadowlands. The new armor sets for tailoring include one assigned to each covenant and a legendary set. And of course, your star rank has been reduced. Now, what do you guys think about all this? Kelly, I've been waiting on somebody to mention that, and yes, beta does open next week, and I'm going to just go ahead and say this, get it out there. Be sure, if you've not opted in, do it now. I opted in back when it first come available to opt in, and I keep check to make sure I am opted in each and every, well, about every 2 weeks. But definitely opt in if you've not already, because I'll be honest, I think it's going to be freaking awesome with the beta. And if I get in, now, that's not to say I will get in, but if I get in, you guys are in for a treat, because as soon as I can get in, I will be doing videos on a very quick basis. I may end up doing 4 or 5 videos a week during the time that beta's going, or maybe even more, who knows. But I will be doing videos on this, and so that you guys can see each and everything. And if there's something you want me to check out, be sure to let me know, and I'll do a video on it. You know, I have no problem with that. I can say this. With what I'm seeing of Legion and Battle for Azeroth and the way that they turned out and what I'm seeing coming up with Shadowlands, I honestly think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to turn out to be one of the better expansions we've ever had. And quite honestly, as much as I wanted to see Sylvanas as being the big bad, I honestly cannot say that she is going to be the big bad going forward. Because in all honesty, I think she is... There's a lot more going on with Sylvanas than what we have been looking at. Okay? I honestly think we're in for a big surprise with her. As far as Shadowlands overall, I don't know how that's going to turn out in the end. Because, quite honestly, I could see it going a few different ways. I could see it taking us to, you know, we come back and everything has changed, and now we're in World of Warcraft 2. Or I could see it us coming back, they've revamped all the zones in the next expansion. Everything is revamped and everything is new. So I can see it happening both ways. I'm just not sure which way I prefer right now. I'm very open to changes. Now, also, I've been looking at the Wowhead, which, you know, everybody looks at Wowhead, I think, at one point or another during your day. If you don't, then there's definitely a lot that you need to know. For example, the guards, a lot of the guards will be getting updates. In Shadowlands, a group interview, game director Ian Hezakostas did confirm that city guards and civilians will be receiving updates in appearance in Shadowlands, reflecting the new customization options that are going to be coming into play. Okay. Like I said, archaeology, it's a done deal. There will be no archaeology in Shadowlands. So no running around digging in Shadowlands. But if there is anything you guys want me to take a look at, let me know. Now, also, this is something that I do feel that you guys may be interested in, and that is Pathfinder. I know, people don't like it. People want it to go away. Personally, I love it. I think it's a great thing because, in my way of looking at it, I think that Pathfinder makes it more interesting because you don't have to have $1 million gold to go out and buy that ability to fly. You do have to have the want to go out and earn it. Now, World of Warcraft executive producer John Haidt confirmed recently that there will be a Pathfinder achievement in Shadowlands, and it will not be unlocked the same way we're used to. We don't have to worry about going out and getting exalted with everything. This will unlock blind sometime after the start of the expansion, of course, and it will be unlocked via Covenant renown instead of multiple faction reputations. So that in itself, I think, is going to be a great thing. And like I said, I'm just really, 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 really super excited for the Shadowlands. I think it's going to be awesome. Kelly, what are you thinking about the beta? Is there anything that you would want to see more about? If, for example, I'm one of the lucky ones to get in, and let's say you're not able to get in, is there something you would want to see me or anybody actually to do a video on or to talk about anything at all? As far as myself, I'm going to be very honest. I think everything is going to be different. Now, did you guys hear about the new king of Stormwind? The new king of the Alliance? I'll be doing a video on that, so stay close because it is going to knock your socks off. Okay, it's going to just totally blow you away. It is Anduin is no longer going to be king. He is going to be replaced. And with his replacement comes a lot of things going on for the Alliance. Anduin is no longer going to be king. He is going to be replaced, and there's a reason. There's a lot of reasons, to be exact. And again, I'll be doing a video on that, so stay close for that. That video will be coming up one day this week. I'm not sure which day, because I do have a lot more on my gold guide, my gold series that I'm putting out. You're going to be seeing a lot more gold series, a lot more ways of making gold, etc. Coming up. And you're also going to start seeing a weekly update of my gold making. How much gold I've made. What did I sell? How did I make that gold? And it's going to possibly help you. That's my hope of helping you be able to make the gold as well. But for right now, that's to come. So please do keep an eye on the channel as much as possible. The final boss in the expansion, of course, everybody always wants to know, but we have, well, literally, we have no way of knowing yet because the expansion has not even started. Now, the barber shop is no longer a paid service, okay? And this is a big one, okay? I don't know about you, but I get tired of the hairstyle that my character has. I get tired of the ability to, or seeing the same character all the time. Maybe the skin color needs to change. Hey, maybe he went out and, he was out in the sun a lot. He got a tan. Or maybe he wanted a different hairstyle or whatever. I want to be able to change that. Okay? And that's something that I honestly am looking forward to. The barber shop will also be able to change your gender. In an interview on Eurogaming, an interview, executive producer John Haidt revealed that the team plans to remove the cost. It's no longer a paid service. And instead, they plan to make a gender change able to be done at the barber shop. You're not going to have to go out and bring in real life money in order to change your sex. Also, and this is a big one, but I plan on doing a video on that is very near and dear to my heart. During the interview with Mr. GM, and I don't know if you've seen that. If you've not, you definitely want to check it out. Lead game designer Morgan Day mentioned that heirlooms will no longer grant bonus experience gains. This comes alongside a number of leveling changes in Shadowlands, which not only condenses the level cap down to 60, but also greatly increases the pace of leveling while allowing players to choose what expansion content they want to level in. Now, my way of looking at it is, if I've already paid hundreds of thousands of gold for my heirlooms, the reason I bought that heirloom was in order to get the expansion, in order to get the experience boost. I didn't buy it because it will look nice or to keep from changing gear every time I turn around, because quite honestly, I could care less. So for me, this is a big, big, big boo-boo. I think they're screwing up by doing that. Now, the changes that they are talking about, it's not even fun to think about. The Shadowlands expansion will, of course, come with many leveling changes, including a level switch, which if you've not heard about, I'll be putting a video down in the description, as well as the card when I'm able to do that. But this is something that comes from the alpha and beta notes. These notes are scattered throughout the guide and will keep you up to date on the alpha and beta changes. Okay. Now, why would they want to change leveling? I mean, for God's sake, why mess with it, right? It's already quick enough. Well, since 2019, people, well, even longer before that, people have been complaining, but it takes too long to get to max level. And I totally disagree. If you put the time into it, it don't take too long, and you learn how to play your character. Otherwise, you don't know how to play it if you just, pick it up one day and boom, you're max level before bedtime. Satisfaction. Too many people complaining about how many levels they are. And not every level gives a reward. Personally, I think these people need to quit whining and move on. Consistency. Too many storylines and not enough time to explore them all. Again, go back and explore it after you hit max level if that's what you need. Okay. 15 years, coming up on 16 years to be exact, and 8 expansions can definitely confuse new players. I understand that. But I think people need to quit whining to Blizzard about, oh my god, it took me more than 5 minutes to level my character. So what? Live with it. Level squish. 50 is the new 120. It is going to be the new 120, because that's where we're all going to drop down to, and then we're going to go from 50 to 60. The speed in Shadowlands is, well, to be honest with you, I think it's a big screw up them doing this. But in Shadowlands, leveling will progress 60 to 70% faster than what we have now. I don't know. Leveling speed is going to be, 60 to 70%. Heirlooms, and this is something they did touch base on a little bit more. Again, it says heirlooms experience bonus will be removed from Shadowlands when it goes live. Blizzard is considering replacing it with a different perk, but what this perk is has not been determined yet. Well, I got news for them. If they're going to replace my hard-earned gold that I spent to purchase the heirloom, they're going to replace the experience. It better daggone well be a good perk that they give me. Even without leveling perk, heirloom armor and weapons will still be incredibly useful to a leveling character. Heirloom pieces will continue to scale to your level and probably still be better than anything you'll be able to find in the world. So those are some armor and weapon slots you don't have to worry about replacing as you level. As far as we know, you'll still be able to enchant heirloom pieces with powerful abilities like a neck enchant, and then send it on to your next character because it's already enchanted. You can still apply transmog to heirlooms to maintain a particular look or change it as often as you change your mind. Change. Sorry about that. There's going to be new players and alts, of course, are going to be a big thing in Shadowlands. New players will go from 1 to 10 in Exile's Reach for new. It's also a place that you can go as a existing. For example, you're bringing in your alt and you're not new. You can go to Exile Reach, or you can go to your character's own starting zone. 10 to 50 will be in Battle for Azeroth. 50 to 60 in Shadowlands. For experienced members like you, Kelly, and myself, and a few others, you'll start at 10 to 50 in any choice of all 8 expansions. You'll have that ability. And then from 50 to 60, of course, you're going to Shadowlands. Now, changes to Death Knights, Demon Hunters, allied races are going to be big, and I do mean big. So let's take a look at them, and then I'm going to be wrapping this up in just a few minutes. So as soon as I get done reading this, I'll give you guys about 10 minutes to answer any questions that you may have. So go ahead and pop them into the chat now. Changes to Death Knights, Demon Hunters, allied races, and BFA and previous expansions to 2 hero classes, Death Knight and Demon Hunters, advanced from level 55 for the Death Knight and 98 especially for the Demon Hunter. At BlizzCon 2019, it was announced that the Death Knight and Demon Hunter would start at level 1, but it has since been announced that they will begin their leveling at level 8 in Shadowlands and will play through their own starting experience. Allied races will start at 10. Now we're starting at 20, but then we'll start at 10. And can play through any of the 8 expansions that you want. Allied members, allied races who choose Death Knights do not start the Death Knight in the Death Knight starting zone. They begin life at level 10 like any other allied race member. Demon Hunters will no longer be restricted to 1 Demon Hunter per server. This restriction was lifted from the Death Knight in 2014. Which means, if you love Death Knights, you can have an army of Death Knights. But for now, only 1 Demon Hunter. Now, I did want to go over one more thing before I end this. I don't know if any of you have... and if you've not seen it, you had to have your head buried in the sand, as they say. But the issue with the streamer Rickville, who ended his life. I know that July is the suicide prevention month, and I know that especially during this pandemic, there are tons of people that get depressed. You get depressed. You get upset. You're not being able to see your friends and your family and your loved ones. You're not being able to get out and go to do the things you want to do. But I beg you, if at any point any of you start to feel depressed, upset, even considering suicide, come to me and talk to me. Okay, my email is in the link in every video that I've done in the description. And I beg you, come talk to me. If you ever even think about having those thoughts, come talk to me. We'll talk all night long if it takes it. We'll work it out. I'll try to get you as much help as I can if it comes to that. But please, don't do something that your family and your friends are going to regret, and that you may not have wanted to do after all. Now, back to World of Warcraft. Hey, Morris, nice to see you as well. Also, if you're new to the channel, new to the live stream, whatever, and you've not already, please do be sure to subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. We are getting ready to end here in about 10 minutes. So go ahead and pop up any questions that you guys may have. Pop those up for me right now, and I'll be happy to answer as many of them as I possibly can. In the meantime, I did want to read over one more topic, what time the questions are being put up. As soon as a question does come in, though, however, I will answer it first and foremost. Okay. And ground mounts and flying mounts in Shadowlands. It's all going to change. Okay. Apprentice will give you 60%. Journeyman will give you 100%. Expert 150. Master 310. Now, training cost for apprentice is 10 copper at level 10, or 10 silver at level 10. So you will now be able to start riding at level 10, which is going to help a lot. Level 20 gets you your journeyman riding for 50 gold. At level 30, you will get expert riding for 250 gold. And at level 40, you'll be able to ride all the way up to 310% speed. And this is flying mounts or ground mounts, I'm assuming. And that will cost you 5,000 gold. So, also, you will not need Draenor or Broken Isle Pathfinders to fly in Shadowlands. So keep that in mind. Instead, you'll learn how to fly in these expansions, continents like Draenor for World of Warcraft, Broken Isles for Legion, and at level 30, when you train your expert flying, like in all other expansions, Battle for Azeroth zones will still require Pathfinder. So, any questions, any thoughts, anything anyone wants me to touch base on, anything at all, let me know. Now, there are a few things that I did want to touch base on what time you're thinking of your questions. And that is, how do you prepare for Shadowlands leveling changes? To have the most options under the new leveling system, you need to get one character on your account to level 120 before Shadowlands goes live. Most of us have already got multiples, but at least one. If you're thinking about getting a second account, now's the time to do it and get your max level character in place. Pathfinder achievements to fly in Draenor or Broken Isles have been removed as a requirement. Although the achievements will still exist for other rewards, Battle for Azeroth zones will still require Pathfinder to fly. So you may also want to go ahead and get that unlocked. And that would take Pathfinder Part 1 and 2 for Battle for Azeroth. And if you've not already done this, please go and get that done now. Because it will be harder to do later than it is now. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to go ahead and give it another 4 or 5 minutes. And then I will go ahead and end the live stream at 9:20. We'll go to 9:25. Which is going to give 9 minutes for questions if anybody has any. Now, personally, I'm looking forward to everything with Shadowlands. Like I've said before, it is something that I've been looking forward to since it was announced. But there are some things that I'm not the happiest about. And if you're wanting to know what those things are, be sure to subscribe now, because I will be doing videos giving you the ins and outs on what I do and do not like about the upcoming expansion. But like I said, any questions, now's your time. Go ahead and pop those up. Let me know. Any of you who are here for the first time, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It would be great. Would be a great help. And also, if you are looking for that second account, or you have multiple accounts, for example, let me show you. Okay. Let me bring up the shared screen. And as you see here, I have World of Warcraft. And I have multiple ones. Let's see, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 licenses for World of Warcraft. And all I would have to do if I wanted a new, for example, let's say I wanted to do a Death Knight and I wanted it to be 120. Okay. I could go here and I could go ahead, first of all, click on World of Warcraft. I could go down and I could buy a boost. That boost would only cost me $60. Or I could do something a lot smarter and go up here. Now this sale does end on the 19th, so if you want it, get it now. I could go here, click on standard, buy now, get a 110 level boost free, plus a upgrade of one of my licenses. And then all I've got is 10 levels to go to have a max level character. So that is something that if you've not already done and it's something you're interested in doing, now's the time to get it done. So let me know if that is something that you guys are planning on doing. Also, anybody here who has any questions, anything that you want me to do a video about, if you're watching this on playback, do it in comments. If you're watching this live, first of all, thank you for joining me live. And definitely go ahead and pop it into live chat. But I'll be more than happy to take a look at any ideas you may have for an expansion or, related video or even older content. Just let me know what you want to see and I'll try my best to get it done. For now, though, I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say going forward. And I will be back within a couple of weeks. Now, my next live stream will be on July 25. July 25th at 8 p.m. If you've missed this one and you're watching it on playback, make sure you grab the next one. Go ahead and plan for it now. That way you can join us live. But keeping it real, guys, I do appreciate every one of you. I hope you have a happy and safe weekend. Stay safe. Try to keep your family safe from this corona stuff. And we'll all make it through together. Until next time, remember, why level alone when you can level up with Hawk Gaming? And also, that may be a type of video that I start doing, where you level up with me. Until next time, have a great one.